Hey guys, am I a Maytag Repairman? No. But, as you can see, I'm working hard on this Maytag, and I'm gonna show you how to get it to work again. It stopped drying clothes, guys, and that's a problem, especially when you got 7 people living in a house. So I'm gonna take this modern 2020 model Maytag dryer. It's gonna go from not blowing hot air to blowing hot air. And here's how. I don't know why I did the zoop thing, but you know, I'm trying to edit this to make it really entertaining. There's a bottom plate here. Pop that bad boy right off, alright? Then, take a look here. We got 4 screws. We got 1. Oop, can you see? Can you see? Right there. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. So I'm using a 1/4-inch socket, and I'm just hitting these 4 bad boys, getting them undone. So my problem was, I thought, you know what, why get the store warranty? You know, they wanted an extra 150 or 200 bucks, I forget what it was. And I was like, you know what, it's probably gonna last 3 years. You know, with dryers, they just spit out so much lint, and if you don't clean out the line that runs to the outside, all that lint can get trapped, and then it can break your thermal circuit breaker thing. And that's what happened to me. What was going on was the clothes were taking a while to dry, and I was noticing a lot of lint flying to the outside of my house. So I got a spinning brush thing, and I fed it through like the 20 feet of ducting work from the middle of my house to the outside. Cleaned it out, there was a mountain of lint. And then what I did was I added a second lint trap just underneath of a laundry room in my basement. Take a look. There it is. It's just underneath where the dryer sits. And you lift it up, pull the little tray out, and voila. Let's see, one thing I wasn't doing was cleaning out the second lint trap, because it's just not as convenient. And anyway, there was about 1 inch of lint blocking the dryer vent, so I fear that because the hot air wasn't escaping the house, it probably tripped the thermal circuit breaker like fuse thing. If you want to add a second lint trap, here's what I bought. It's the Pro Clean. Made by Dundas and Jeffine. Pretty cool. But you gotta make sure you clean it out every couple of days, or at least once a week. Because you might end up like me, with a dryer that doesn't blow hot air anymore. You probably want to know, how do I clean out my dryer vent, like that runs to the outside? Well, it's called the Lint Eater Pro, and I picked this up at Menards. Probably any home improvement store has it. And it's a big old like drill bit that fits in your drill, but it has a brush on it. Back to the work. Let's fix this thing. Well, I got the 4 little screws off the bottom. And now I need a special little drill bit. It's like one of those cool star drill bit things. I'll tell you exactly what I need in like 2 seconds. Let me go to the garage and spend a half an hour looking. But the magic of YouTube will make that half hour turn into a 20-second monologue. I was gonna cut right to having the star bit, but I want to show you that you should probably have a clean environment so you can find your tools at all times. Luckily for me, I mean, it's not a clean environment, but I think I have the bit in this thing. It's time for some incredible B-roll. Ooh, think I found what I need. Let's see. I know how badly you really wanna fix this dryer issue, but wouldn't you rather watch me pet this cat? Look at that. Huh? Just kidding. Back to the work. All right, guys, you're gonna need a T20. Ooh, that's a little, well, okay. To pop the top off, there was 2 screws on the back, super easy. This slides forward. There's 2 little clips here, and I just have it sitting on here off to the side. Accessed my two T20 screws. Now I undid this little clip here because there's some kind of electronics going on. Now my 4 bolts off the bottom, my two T20s off the top, and well, something's gotta give, guys. Maybe it's held on by a clip. Just be gentle, give it a little shake. All right, guys. So what we have here are 2 screws holding the hinge and the door, but I'm not worried about that right now. I'm gonna take off these Phillips bit screws here that connect to the old flint dealy-ma-bobber, and that should give me what I need to pop the front off and access that thermal fuse. All right, got the Phillips. Now we're just doing a spinny spin. All right, guys. Getting these 2 Phillips off. I think this thing's pretty loose. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Whoa. Mamma mia. Time out. Whew. Saved by the bell. Got that back. All right. This, hopefully. Oh yeah. Woo! Look at that, guys. Anybody home? All right, guys. You're gonna need a T20 star bit. You're gonna put it in your little fancy little holder thing, like this, and then you're gonna drop it into this, or you're gonna use a power drill, which is super smart if you are a weak man. All right, guys, a few twists of the wrist, and we're off to the races. All right, here we go. A couple flicks of the wrist. Here's the beautiful inside. As you can tell, there's a mountain of lint. All right, folks, if you can tell, the glue got like heated on this little strip here, so I could reattach that. Looks like a little bit of melting from heat, but yeah. Guys, working with the dryer, dusty work. Ewy! Oh, nasty. All right, guys, looking in to the dryer. There are 2 things attached to the exhaust. This first one that we see is not the thermal fuse. It's behind this first one. Kind of hard to see. Let me get another look. All right, as you can see, the gray wires are attached to the thermal fuse that we'll be replacing. You could take off the blower right here, but I'm gonna see if I can squeeze in and just take care of it from here. It's gonna be a tight squeeze. As your replacement part is a W10909685, and I found this on Amazon for 20 bucks. And yeah, pretty simple. And that was the right screw to undo here. So I'm gonna finish getting those wires off. Pretty good. I'm using the same 1/4-inch socket. And it's just 1 screw, so it'll come off quite nicely. We got it loosened up, and we're gonna pop these 2 gray wires off and pop a new one in. One problem that you might run into is that these are on pretty tight, so you're gonna have to finesse it and kind of wiggle at these plastic covers, and just don't, you know, separate the wire from the attachment metal. You just gotta kind of go slow at it here. Hey guys, I curled one side of this silver metal attachment with a needle nose pliers. Aha, you see that needle nose? And then it slipped right off, pretty easy. So I'll do the same with the second side. And then we'll get our new thermal fuse in. All right guys, I got it out. And as you can see, the numbers are just a little different here. I think it'll still work. You can tell the new one's on the bottom, and that's the one the internet told me to get. But the numbers on the top one, which is the original, a little different, but they look the same. Hopefully they function the same. And well guys, there's only one way to find out if my dryer will throw some heat. Let's go.
All right, we are attached. Now we're gonna screw this thermal fuse back to its homeland over there.
All right, we got our thermal fuse in there. And now it's, yeah, I got a new hat. Now it is time to clean out all the lint. So get a wet rag. That'll kind of make sure the dust doesn't fly all over. But it's gonna be dusty, so protect your lungs and stuff like that. Dusty, dust, dust, dust. So much dust. So much lint. All right, just cleaning up a little bit more here. Man, it's amazing how that lint trap doesn't quite get it all. Okay, that's good. All right, guys, well, it is time for reassembly to see if this thing's gonna kick out hot air. So, we've got it cleaned out pretty good, pretty fair. Not expert cleaning. I'm not like an expert detailer. Some people do amazing jobs. Check out their YouTube channels, you know, if you want to see them detail cars and stuff. But I just kind of got a wet paper towel and got a lot of dust on. Anyway, you're super bored now? Sorry about that. Yeah, so we're gonna start reassembling. And all we gotta do is, we got the 4 bolts on the bottom, the 2 T20s on top, and then 2 bolts holding this thing on top, a connection here, and we should be in business. Let's go. All right. So, let's see. Make sure those are sitting nice and snug up here. And I'll drop my 2 T20s in. All right. They're going pretty quick. Just make sure they're snug enough. And another. Okay, that's good. All right, we got this connection here, and it's back in place. All right, now it's time to get the 4 bottom bolts, or screws if you want to call them. Here we go, 1, 2, and the last one. All right, now we're ready to attach the top. There's 2 little clips, and so we're just going to put it just ahead of the clips and then slide back. There we go. I'll lift up on the top, make sure they're in. They are. Looks good. Right, on the back here, we got 2 screws here and here. So we're gonna put those in, and then I think we'll have a back plate to put on. We'll be headed towards the promised land. 1 and 2. Okay, we got our back plate on with approximately 6 screws. All right, now we can plug it in and give it a test. It's not connected to the dryer ducts yet, but I can put my foot on the back of the machine and see if I feel hot air. Let's see what happens. Oh, cross fingers. Power failure occurred. Press the power button to continue. There we go. And all right, the moment of truth. Pull to start. Holy cow, will it heat? Stop. All right, I'm waiting to see if I feel some heat out the back here. Well, I don't feel heat yet, but it just started. The positive thing is, if I messed up something electronically, it might not be running at all. So, let's see. Guys, I made a mistake. I forgot 2 screws in the lint trap. Okay, little humble pie. But you gotta remember, I'm not a Maytag Repairman. I should have put something wet in the dryer because it's so stinking smart that it said it was done drying, and I don't think it heated up a whole lot. So I got some wet socks. They're clean wet socks, so they don't smell bad. Anyway, let's throw them in. There we go. And start another cycle. Yeah. Yeah, so this is kind of like DIY. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and action. Woo, that was a lot of work, guys. It was fun, and now it's time to enjoy a little bit of grapefruit. Oh. Oh. So remember, if the women don't find you handsome, make sure they find you handy. Is that line already taken by somebody? Probably. Okay guys, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure if it's heating. Let's check. I don't feel heat. That might mean the element's out. I would need part 2. I don't feel heat. We're gonna keep running it. But that's how you change the thermal fuse. Part 2 coming up. All right guys, massive update. I took the dryer apart again and took out the heating element. Turns out that there's a break in the element, and that's the problem. You can see the break right here. So, hoping to order a new part, and it was a little bit of a process to get this out. Didn't think to film the process, but it's been a couple of days since I ordered the new replacement heating element, and it looks super shiny, unlike the old heating element, which definitely looked like it got too hot. So we're gonna place it in the vent with all the sensors and everything. As you can see, it's got sensors and stuff. Just pops in like brand new. We got our screw in right here to hold the heating element in. Next, we're going to put this plate on. There's a screw that's kind of finicky, so let's do that next. All right, this little slalom slot here, we'll take this pop out little half a oval, just like that. We'll fit it in there. Aha, there we go. And then I'm gonna put a screw right here to hold that in. You don't want to do that when you slide this in because it's a little finicky to get to. And it's gonna be a little short screw. All right, now we just push this into the back bracket, and there's no screws, at least there weren't for me. It just fits in that circle hole on the back of the machine tightly. It's a little finicky, but I think you just feel around, watch out for sharp edges, and yeah. Fitting this through a small hole on the back of the machine. Really one of the hardest things you're ever gonna do in your entire life. But hang in there, even if it takes you 30 minutes, 45, you'll get it eventually. Right, if you can see here, the pipe fits right into the rear. And it's a little finicky, but we got everything situated, and now it's just needing to be hooked up. Hooking up the wires here. Hoping I got the back ones correct. Maybe it doesn't matter, maybe it does. Wiggle, wiggle. Make sure you guard your cookies, folks.
No thanks. Alright, next we got this red and white and the black. Red and white goes on top of this guy here. Okay, good. Just wiggles right on like a charm. Black goes on the bottom. Wiggle, wiggle. Make sure it's nice and firm and snug. And then we have this one. Should be a little easier to get snapped in. Alright. See if we can snap that in without problem. Good. Nice and snug. Then, the last, we got red on top. There we go. Firm, solid, and the black. There we go.
Alright, then you want to hook up this connection here. Put in this screw back on the bottom of this plate. Get the heating elements hooked up and secure. Then we're going to put the blower plate back on. Before you put the blower plate back on, look inside and you might find some hidden treasure. For example, I see a necklace clasp in there that I'll have to get out with a screwdriver or something. You can see that little necklace clasp hiding down there. I have a little magnet on a stick here. Let's see if if it was a little smaller, maybe. Place this on, screw here, screw there, screw over here. Right, we got the blower cover back on. Now we're just going to reassemble, like I had shown earlier. Popping the cover plate back on, 4 screws on the bottom, 2 T20s on top, and 2 Phillips screwdrivers down here for the lint trap. Then basically pop on the back cover plate, the front little white cover plate on the bottom, and then hook it up and hope that it spits out hot air. Attach this connection, reattach, solid back plate. Here's your bottom cover plate. Hey, we approach the moment of truth. Did my fix work? Let's find out. Boom. Flick it on and see if it works. Let's hope it blows out hot air. Let's turn up the temp. Let's do high. And wish me luck. So far so good. I feel heat. I feel heat. I think it's working. It's working. It was the heating element the whole time. Now I just got to reattach the vent line and make sure I clean out my lint traps. The women don't find you handsome, they should find you handy. You know something? I didn't even have to use duct tape to fix the dryer. Fortunately, it's kind of the handyman's secret weapon, right? Unlike the car, totally hit a raccoon here, messed up the whole fender, and did some damage in the wheel well. But duct tape, man, let me tell ya. Subscribe.